I literally close Twitch chat because I need like my full, especially with how like fast and data driven you are. Like I'm like, okay, to talk to this dude, I have to be like locked the fuck in. But you're like, oh yeah, chat said this. I'm like, how are you reading that at the same time as like engaged me?
I've been reading your chat the entire time, like the whole thing.
First of all, I'm probably sorry because there's probably a lot of shit posting going on because we don't moderate very well.
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, pretty good shit posting. Yeah, it's like as in like
Yeah, there's like that's an insane skill, man. That's actually crazy.
I think it's just a practice thing, though. I don't even think it's like a superhuman thing. It's literally just like when you just read chat all the time and you kind of build that up for like faster reading and that kind of stuff to do it. It helps a lot. And I think the hardest part for me was going from 400 viewers to 15,000 in like a month. Like that.
Is that how fast it happened?
Wild. It happened so fast,
dude.
It was like 400 to 10,000 in about a month.
And you attribute that just basically to shorts? Is that right?
It's 100% to shorts. So we had 400 average viewers, and I put up YouTube Shorts, and I was like, hey, I want to go from 13,000 subscribers to 15,000 by the end of the year. We're going to start doing shorts, and the way that I targeted them was like every day, because I have more tech-based stuff, I'm going to put it out at exactly noon. Noon is the time on the West Coast of the United States that people look at their phone because they're going on lunch break. This is the exact moment they'd be looking at for that kind of content and get it in their feed. And it worked way too well, like way more than I thought it would ever work. Like I was just like this makes sense, so I'm going to try this. And 2.5 million subscribers as of this month now.
God, that's crazy.
It's been 1 year. Yeah.
Bro, my team and I, like, we went on this, so I've like never created content seriously. I just started 2 months ago. Like, I've always been kind of part-time because I have a full-time job and like and that sort of thing. And I set a challenge that I wanted to hit 1 million subs, or I think what's more realistic is probably on YouTube do 100,000 AV30, which means like my views on average are 100,000 per video. Either one of those or 1 million subs is like the goal. And I finally like committed like for the first time, like I'm going to post consistently, I'm going to do this. And you have been a huge area of study for myself and my entire team on how you did that. I still don't understand how your shorts do as well as you do. One thing I think that you've got, and I'm curious on that I have you here, is like your storytelling is such that like when you begin a sentence and then you have a statement you say, you have a beginning, middle, and end built into that, like a narrative. Like there's like a story arc in literally almost everything you say. It's an insane skill. I've only seen you do it. Are you aware of this, or like
Yeah.
How does that work?
So that's fully practiced. Basically, what I do
is so cool to hear. Yeah. Oh, dude. Okay, tell me more.
What I'll have is I have the queuing system, like the TTSQ system, and when I listen to the queue, there are ones where I go, I have a good narrative for this, or I have a pretty good answer for you, but it's going to take too much time, right? If I have a good narrative where I know immediately I go, I can answer this in 60 seconds. Here's the entire story. I know how to deliver this. I look at the clock on OBS. I know exactly how much time I have. I turn off my audio so that I know it's going to be easier for us to clip it and put it up on Twitch. And then I watch and I deliver it to them while knowing that I have 60 seconds. And that's the whole thing, is within that time period, I go, okay, this is one of them. I'm going to do this. And people will notice too. They're like, oh, he's doing the thing. It's a short moment. Like, because they see me lock in for that thing. And it's like, okay, I have the narrative for this one. But some of them are just like, hey, let's have a conversation about this. It's a wider thing. There's discovery for it. It probably won't turn into a short. It's just going to be a normal thing. And it's always it's been a learned behavior of trying to react to that stuff in chat the whole time. And as I have found things on shorts that work better, I've been able to deliver that better on stream every time I get asked questions. So it's kind of a feedback loop for that.
Did you practice this skill? Did you take any improv? Like, how did you consciously develop this?
I practiced this on stream.
Okay.
The whole time. Yeah, everything was practiced on stream because you get immediate feedback. When you deliver something effectively, you'll see people in chat being like, W, that was good advice. That was great advice. Or you see nothing. You know when it lands.
Yeah.
Immediately you know when it lands.
Yeah.
And if you have that kind of feedback, it's very easy to kind of improve. Very, very fast to improve.
Damn, that's cool. I think one of the reasons why that's so inspiring is because this is like the huge X factor I had with you. Is like, how does he do this? How is everything a fucking Lord of the Rings story? Like, what is going on? And like to know that you can practice that, and that like that's one of the most inspiring things. Is like a lot of people think it's like, oh, I can never be a broadcaster because like I don't have the talent. Right. And it's like to know that you can practice that and that you can get better at that storytelling is super inspiring. That's so cool.
Dude, I want you to see something that's wild to me. And like just to kind of reinforce that you can practice this, go look at my Twitch tracker real quick. Pull this up.
Sure. Yeah.
I want you to go to December 2017.
December 2017. Okay.
Yeah, December 2017. You can mouse over the channel performance over time.
Yeah.
Oh no, go on the actual like analytics page, like the main page,
Okay.
and just mouse over the green bar down there, and you'll find like December.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here it
Yeah,
is.
so you mouse over there, and you'll find December, right?
Mhm.
And you'll find December in 2017, and you'll notice I had 90 viewers there, right?
Yeah.
Go forward a couple of months, you'll see me drop down to about 20. I dropped down to 23 in August 2018. I sucked, dude. I was shit at delivering a story, and I knew it. I had an opportunity where I was found by a larger creator. They shut off my content. People flooded in, and they were like, "Wow, this guy sucks. He's boring." And they were right, because I was super awful at delivering information. I was nervous all of the time. I didn't have any of that cadence. And you know what I ended up doing? I watched a bunch of insult comics on YouTube. I was like, how do I stand up in front of a stage and be funny with people? And I watched insult comics, and I studied insult comics, and I tried to sit there and be like, what the hell am I doing wrong? How do I react to an audience? How do I react to a heckler? Like, I need to know this. And I sat there and studied every one of those, and it was a learned behavior. And over time, if you watch, you can see me getting more and more effective at this as people were starting to stay, until I got to about 400 average viewers in September 2023. And then YouTube found me.
Why just insult
Boom,
comics?
You know? I like insult comics a lot because I think biting humor is quite fun. I really enjoyed that. And I also find that it is snap, immediate interaction for an insult comic. I find that when someone gets heckled and they're not an insult comic, it's very hard for them to react to the heckler. They may be caught off guard. They may get a little unsteady. Insult comics love that shit. They eat it up instantly. And when you're getting heckled all the time on Twitch, dude, like heckling on Twitch is constant. So like the moment I get there, I was like, okay, time to fight back, right? You know, like, and it ends up being kind of a funny moment for the people in chat. It sets a standard for your channel. So if you ban someone for bad behavior and you make a little bit of a joke out of it, people go, oh, so that's what it's like here. And you start cultivating an audience of people that you actually want to hang out with. And it worked, man. Like, it worked in a way that I think was very beneficial to the community, much more fun for me, and much more effective as a business model, you know?
Yeah. So you basically attribute your rise almost entirely to this learned skill of storytelling and the 7 years that you spent developing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like 100%. It's from that. And
it's scary that it
is
takes that long, but I know it does. I mean, you're top 0.001%, right? Like, that's how good you have to be. Yeah.
It's the joke of 7-year overnight success, right? And that's really what it is. And yes, this is lightning in a bottle moment. YouTube Shorts exploded way beyond anything we ever thought was possible. But I don't think they would have stayed if I was shit at this like I was in the beginning. And I think that is always going to be the case for anyone that's doing anything. You basically spend time, like that 90 viewer thing. That was my first lightning in the bottle moment. I believe that was in Jacksepticeye played our game.
Oh, really?
And it exploded. Yeah, and it exploded. It was like 2.5 million viewers, right? And it blew up. It was a huge deal, and they didn't stay. That first lightning in the bottle made me go, the issue isn't discovery. The issue is me. It was like that moment you have in Bronze League of Legends where you're like, wait a minute, I'm bad at the game, not my teammates.
It's
like,
not
that
my
was
team.
it for me, dude. Like, that was the moment for me. I was like, I am shit. I need to fix me. And like, that's where it started, that, because I had gotten the visibility and it left, right?
And you said you're 37?
Yeah,
right?
I'm 37. Yeah.
I didn't know that. So you were 30 when you made the decision. A lot of people think that they can't do it by then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And that's why it's really funny. People come in, they're like, I'm 22. Am I too old to be a programmer? I'm like,
yeah.
Shut up, dude.
I get that all the time. Yeah.
You're not even old enough to feel ways about it. You can't even run a car. Like,
Yeah,
come
bro,
on, dude.
bro. You can barely drink. Like, come on. Like, some countries you're not allowed in certain rooms. Like, come on. Like, it's crazy.
It's ridiculous. But no, I'll sit down and tell them, I'm like, you don't have to worry about that. Don't put like arbitrary barriers in front of yourself, because they will, man. Like, they will. They think that it's over, that life is so, oh God, I'm 22 now, that there's not enough time for me to cultivate a skill. It's like, dude, I went to college to be an entomologist, an insect scientist. You think I'm doing that shit now?
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped out, dude.
I went to college to do psychology. I ain't doing that shit. Yeah. This is
that's the funniest part about it, man. It's like it's all learned. It's all learned to be.
God,
learned.
that's cool, man. Like what? Even looking at the followers gained at this time, you can see the spike, and then you go down a few months, and you can see the follower gain drops off because, like you said, like the storytelling isn't there. And so like the people came, they checked out what you had to see, and I think this is one of the reasons why like there's so many Twitch streamers that are kind of like, quote, waiting for their moment. And then like lightning kind of strikes. I've seen so like I almost always, if someone's been streaming for a long time, like 2 to 4 years, there will be a point where they spike. Like, something will happen, that their clip will get notoriety. Like, I think one of the reasons that has happened to me many times, like I've like even just a few weeks ago, I had a Twitter post that got 2 million impressions, right? But when people actually come here, I'm not entertaining because I don't tell good stories, and I'm like and so you know, it invariably kind of drops off to like I'm a very nuanced, very niche broadcaster because I talk industry stuff, right? And so, and I don't have that storytelling skill, and so I've noticed the same result anecdotally, but also with other creators. That's so fascinating. But like you're the first person ever to show me on a chart like how that works, and that one of the most inspiring things ever, man, is to look at a person in the top 0.001% of their craft, like a Michael Jordan or like a Shaq or something like that, or like I know The Rock has like a lot of good stuff on YouTube about this. He's talked about where he literally, The Rock's a good example. Like you, he took his personality. If you go look at the old interviews of The Rock, he's like closed off. He's like really boring. He's like soft spoken. And then you go to the new interviews and he's deliberately built this character that like he can tell stories, he can evoke in a certain way. And he's designed it. And it's like one of the most inspiring things ever is to be like, oh, it's actually possible to design this thing that you want. It's not just built in. You can do it.
No, it's not just built in. And the thing is this actually made me dramatically more confident in real life too, because I was a weird shut-in nerd, dude. I couldn't talk to people. I was nervous all the time. Like I was like a big nerd, you know. Yeah. And like you could see that in the numbers there. But as I got better at this on stream, I got better at that in real life. I was able to talk to people better. I was able to explain things better. Maybe better at storytelling, better at communicating inside of work. Like all of that kind of stuff improved because I was practicing this every single day. I think one of the most interesting things is people ask me, like, how do you stream 12 hours a day? I didn't in the beginning. You can actually go back and look and see all the early broadcasts for me, and like a lot of them were quite short because if I talked more than 3 hours straight, my throat would hurt, man. And like you can see that slowly increasing over time. It's mostly around 5 hours, 3 hours, things like that. Yeah. And now if you look at this year, it's 12 hours every day that I stream. Like 12 hours every day, except for one of them, we had a blackout. 14,000 homes were without power the other day. Oh, yeah. Including this. Yeah, it was like, oh, well, that's done.
Some of these are like 18, 16, 18-hour streams.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think my max limit is like 36 is the like fuck? As far as I can possibly go. Yeah, I love it, dude. Like, it's super amping for me. So, like, it gives me a lot of energy to do that stuff. And my voice used to give out like 3-4 hours in. Yeah. It doesn't give out at all now because I got to this point where it's like I know how to talk in a measured way where I'm not going to blow my voice out. All of that is practiced. Everything is because you learn the limits of what you can do and you learn the limits of where you're good and not, you know.
You also have very little interruptions in your speech. Like people in chat, I don't know if I'm not reading it, but like you might be thinking I'm making like nuanced takes or things like that. Everything like in broadcasting or entertainment, every detail matters. Like the pausing and the pacing at which you speak is very intentional, and you speak with a lot of confidence, and you don't have stutters like I have. Like you when you talk, you just boom, it's just out there. It's fucking crazy.
You want to know something funny? Yeah. I actually used to have a stutter.
Really?
Yeah. I used to have a stutter, and it was mostly because I was nervous. So whenever I was very nervous, I would be like, kind of like things like that because I was trying to second guess myself in the middle of the conversation. And because of that, I would overthink it, rethink what I was about to say, think about the possibility of the other person perceiving it wrong, stutter in the middle of the conversation, and then continue on. And it would just be a mess, right? And as I gained more confidence in speaking, that just disappeared.
That's so cool. Like it just went away because you weren't thinking on another track in your head.
Yeah, it was basically an extra track the whole time of how am I being perceived? I feel like shit. Oh God, I hope that person doesn't hate me. That was it. And once I got over that and I was like, no, I can just talk. It's okay. And some people won't like what I say and some people will like what I say. And that's also okay. And once I got to that point, it was like, I don't stutter anymore. It's gone.
Crazy. The fact that you can do this
reflexive thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that you can do this by being learned is just so neat to hear. I can't tell you. Like, I hope that other people are as inspired by that as I am because it's like this is a top 0.001% broadcaster telling you that he literally built himself up to be this kind of person by like block by block. And like, dude, I help content creators grow and like I've done that for years. I have so many people message me and say, I just don't think I have the talent to be a broadcaster. I don't think I have the talent to be a YouTuber or whatever. Like, I can't do it. I just don't have the personality. I'm too shut in. And like, you are a awesome use case of taking like an absolute goblin, and just
it's true.
Yeah, and just like and doing what you're doing now. It's so cool. It's so cool. There's nothing more inspiring than that shit.
I think it's really important for people to understand that, because they'll come to me like, I only streamed to 2 viewers, and I was like, cool, I did that. Like, keep doing that. And don't think about the viewers. Don't think about like, I need to have this right now. I need to reach this right now. And it's funny too, because some people will come to me, they're like, hey, why don't you raid this person that has 50 viewers? And I'm like, because it would destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, if you drop 15,000 people on a person that has 50 viewers, they won't know how to react to that. They're going to get a bad showing, and that may actually give a negative impression to a lot of people about that person's content, and they may not check them out again. So like, whenever I do those types of things, I have to look at, where is that person kind of in that arc of learning what kind of content creator they are. I'm going to choose the one that feels more steadfast with that, and then stream them, or like raid them. And it's funny because this comes across as sort of like weird inside guy stuff, where it's like, oh, they only raid their friends. It's like, no, I raid streamers that are like well put together enough that they can take 15,000 people without a meltdown, right? And that's very important to understand, because if you give someone like I was at the time, a shitload of viewers, 90 viewers for me, that from 12 was a big deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go away. As much as that ended up being a growing experience for me, for a lot of people, that's devastating, dude.
It's the end, because they see that success and they're like, oh, I fell off so hard I can never see that again. But it's not true.
Yep.
But yeah.
And I'm very cognizant of that, and try to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's the tough thing on that. It's trying to make sure that we're rating someone that makes sense and talking to people about that stuff. But yeah, no, I used to be an absolute like degenerate goblin, unable to talk to people, and I've made a lot of strides in that over the last many years.
I think,
and it's just practice.
It's practice, and a lot of it is also just like hard work. Like, I'm going to pull up another chart. Like, this is Ben's chart, Go Carnage, and like they're similar, right? You just look at the purple filled in here. This guy does not miss a day. He's every day. Like
I used to do that. First 2 years I did.
Insane, right?
That's crazy.
And there's similar charts. A lot of people don't know, like some other broadcasters. Here's another one that like a lot of people don't know. Quinn69. This guy is a madman. He is on every single day. He has been on during like his child's birth. Like, this guy.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, dude. This dude. Like, look at his chart. This chart is insane. Like. Co-Carnage is the craziest one, because like Co-Carnage in the year of 2020, okay, the year, he missed 3 days. like what,
dude? Like, I was doing 7 days a week for the first 2 years, and it imploded me, right, in a way that it was like 5 hours a day, 7 days a week, whatever, right? Because I had a job at the time and everything. I was working, and then this last year, like after the explosion, I was like, I'm going to do 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I held it pretty well. Like, there was some days where it's like, oh, no, I actually have to do like a real people thing. Like, we're incorporating the company today. I need to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I can't be on stream, things like that. And then like, after a while, I was like, okay, I can do 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. That gives me 2 days to manage the business and the ferret rescue and everything else that goes along with it. And also work on my other games, like work on Heartbound and everything like that. And I still have enough time to be like, reasonably on stream a whole bunch, because 12 hours a day is a hell of a schedule for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But for me, I love it. Right. So like, I'm happy to do, I would love to do 7 days a week on that, but there are so many other obligations when you're running a business. You just can't. It's not possible to do that. I've got like, what do we have, like 16 staff members now? Like, I gotta run all that shit.
It's crazy you stream as much as you do, man. I'm full time. I've got about 45 contractors in my business. We're running ad revenue. I've got like we had a bunch of employees, but we switched all over to like part-time and like semi full-time people. So now everybody we have is remote after like COVID and everything, and we never went back to like an office. But starting the year, we had 17 full-time employees, 45 contractors, and like, dude, I'm a Tuesday, Friday, 4 or 5 hours, and that's all I can do. And like, even that I have to protect like with everything I've got, because there's just like, dude, I clicked the start streaming button today, and what my co-founder found me and had like a couple people with him and was like, yo, let's talk ad budget, like what's going on Twitch. And I'm like, no, I gotta go in, I gotta stream, I'm sorry, the business world like really makes it so hard to do any kind of broadcast like full-time or even part-time. Like, it's crazy that you do ferret rescue and then all of the other stuff, but it makes sense. You're putting like a good 10 or 12 hours offline. Like, you don't take days off, I assume. Like, you just you just work offline. Yeah,
I just work offline.
Crazy.
And I think my daily schedule is more like 16 hours a day at minimum every day. Do you work 12 hours on stream, another 4 hours off stream, and then there's like a float hour that's kind of in there.
Oh my God.
And then I'll sleep and do it again. It's like really the whole thing.
Do you ever like play games offline anymore or anything like that?
Usually I don't.
Mhm.
Usually if I want to play a game, I'll play it on stream.
Yeah.
It's actually one of the reasons I've been playing Ashes so much because I actually really like Ashes of Creation.
Yeah.
Like it's actually very fun. And I've been very much enjoying that and managing that guild and trying to build all that kind of stuff. Because I played EVE Online for 15 years.
I
and,
know.
Like I had like a huge amount of like a massive guild in there and everything like that. And I'm rebuilding that now in Ashes.
And you're doing all of the ministries and everything too that you did on EVE. I love that.
We're actually rebuilding that now to have Ministry of Industry. The newest one is the Ministry of Mentorship, which is Mom. So like we're doing that, which is great. So if you have a problem, you go ask Mom. And like just like funny jokes like this that we get to do, which is like hilarious for me. And it makes the game more fun. And I can do some of that on stream and some of it off stream. But at the same time, it also gives the moderators extra work that they can do. So they're getting more value out of that. It gives people more kind of management skills. So if they want to carry that over to other, areas of their career, if they want to leave, they've got that as well. Like all of this kind of adds up and gives people cool value. And it lets them play the game and have fun with it too.
Dude, I literally can't thank you enough for coming out. Like seriously, man. Like it was like huge of you to like show up and chat, and like I'm really glad we got to have this conversation. I didn't expect it, but like it's actually super cool. And I'm also gonna update my Twitter as well. As soon as I get back, and I'll like make a statement about it too.
To be real, you should make a video out of this, man. Just put it up on
think
YouTube.
So?
Like talk about do 100%. I think people would find it very compelling to talk about it because I think we had a measured conversation where we came from very different sides of the argument and then came to an agreement and understanding in the middle. And I think that kind of a thing is rare on the internet and useful. So
what would you title that video?
I talked to PirateSoftware and he hates you. No, like PirateSoftware loves ads and is a shill for Twitch. God, dude, I don't know.
The number one, the way to get the most amount of views would be confronting PirateSoftware.
That'd be pretty funny.
That is the number. If we want views, that's the way to do it. I like to be more wholesome than that usually.
Yeah, be more wholesome than it.
I don't know. Like
I always name mine like very sterile. If you notice, it'll be like PirateSoftware and DevinNash ad discussion. It's just like
10 million views.
Yeah, it's just like the lamest thing imaginable. And then I put like a thumbnail on it that I made in Paint in 5 minutes because that's the funniest thing imaginable to me.
Do you do your own thumbnails?
I do. So I have actually Sunder does some of them now because he'll make something funny. But I usually do all my own thumbnails, like for a lot of stuff. And the rule that I have is if I can make it in GIMP in 5 minutes, then it's fine. Because I wanted to try something that was basically the anti-Mr. Beast. Because Mr. Beast has the heavily curated,
$10,000 per thumbnail.
$10,000 thumbnail. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what if I made a shit post for a minute? And I just threw it up there. And what I found was like, people click on it because they're like, in a field of Mr. Beast thumbnails, there's this dude's face making a stupid face at me. What is that? And they ended up clicking on it. That was it. It was just kind of a strategy of like, I wonder if I could just be opposite than what the rest of the trend is and do it in a way that's funny to me and see what happens.
That's so cool. Damn, dude. I got so many more questions to ask about content creation shit. Like we didn't even get into that. Like I hope we can do a follow-up sometime. And like if you ever have time.
You can hit me up anytime. No worries.
Dude, you rock, seriously. Oh my God. That's awesome. Like I would love to have that conversation. I will make it a video and maybe two actually, because we'll do one on the conversation and then like just about the ad stuff and then one on like just the other shit. Yeah.
Yeah, do it up. 100% do it up.
Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you again so much for talking, man. And like, I'm so glad we got to connect finally. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
That's cool as fuck. And
thanks for having me on, man.
Dude, of course, yeah. If you ever need anything on the ad side or like the the agency side, let me know.
I'm gonna have a shitload of questions for you now that I know that you have like like a little the other side of understanding about ads that I just don't have.
Yeah,
like, I need that.
Dude, I'll give you all that, and I got a couple interesting things to show you after I get back from dinner too. So because I gave you a couple of notes in the stream I want to show you later that are pretty wild in the DMs. And dude, I'll show you some crazy shit. But yeah, like we're not a talent agency, so we literally just rep brands. So like if you're currently rep by somebody, like it's no like conflict of interest to talk to me. Like we don't. I can't give you money directly, even if I wanted to. But we have a lot of good data and a lot of brand data, and then also like I don't know, if you're ever looking for somebody to like a particular brand or someone, there's a good chance that we're connected through an agency or something. Like you're like, I want to be sponsored by these people. We can literally forward that through you or talk to an agency that reps you or whatever for that, and we can get you that brand.
That's super useful. Yeah, because I go through SideQuest Media right now, and the reason why I ended up doing that because I was like, and I told them when I started, I was like, I'm going to be very discerning on this. I'm going to turn down 99.9% of these.
Oh yeah,
and like that's just how that's going to go because I realized very quickly is the only thing that I have is my community. Like, yes, it doesn't matter. Like the brand just wants to get the eyes, right? They don't give a shit about legacy. They don't give a shit about the content that I have. They care about getting access to your community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I don't want to do is I never want to screw that up. I never want to like sell out a thing that is dangerous or not like beneficial to the community or something that is very obviously not something I can get behind. So there's got to be a narrative in there that actually makes sense for me, where it's like, I can see the benefit of this. This might benefit you. Here you go. Right. And if I can't do that, then I don't do it.
Bro, let me tell you, as a person who has sponsored thousands of creators, that never, I know I don't even need to tell you it, but like for people listening, like that, having that kind of integrity is the most important thing. I have seen so many communities burn out because they decide to take the bag. And the fact that you have that mindset about sponsorships is insanely healthy. Absolutely.
You take the worst part is you take a short-term bag and you lose everything long-term.
You lose all your integrity. You lose all your trust.
Dumbest thing you could do.
Yep. Yeah. It's the biggest withdrawal from your bank account that you can do, because your community then, like that single rug pull, your community learns, okay, like that person, I can no longer trust that person.
Yeah, no, yeah. And it's funny too, because like a lot of people would be like that about certain things. Like people are mad about Ash's Christian, like it's a scam, and I was like, what about it's a scam? They're like, it just is, you know.
Well, I saw people in your chat that are like, oh, you must be getting paid by these guys to do this. You're like, no, like nope. I just enjoy the thing. Yeah, like. Yeah,
just enjoy the thing. And it's one of the things where I have specifically not taken sponsorships from some things. Like I liked the War Within, World of Warcraft. Mm-hmm. You know, when the newest expansion dropped, I was like, this is the best expansion I've played since Legion. I really enjoy this. And they're like, how much did they pay you? And I was like, nothing. And they have approached me to try and sponsor me for stuff. And I turned it down in the past. And the reason why I turned it down is because I didn't want that money to muddy my actual opinion of the game as being disingenuous. And that was the biggest problem with it, is people were like, oh no, he's got to be paid. He's got to be paid. And it's like, no, I was not paid. I refused the money because I don't want you to think that I was paid to give this opinion. I actually just like it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of integrity is what we need to see more of on Twitch. Like as far as we go, we're probably locked into basically every I'm one step away from every major brand, like every F500. So if you ever do see something you really love, I'll just forward that to your agency. And like, I'm not gonna, I don't make any money off that. Like, I don't care. I'll just like make sure you get in contact with those people. If you're like, dude, I drink this every day, it's on stream all the time. Like let me know. And I'll just like, I'll make an email. Like, yeah, it's like no problem. Like again, like
super well.
You're not my customer. It's just because I just like, if there's anything I can do by you, just let me know.
Will do. Yeah, no, thank you very much.
Hell yeah. Cool, man. Dude, thank you again for taking so much time. Like, this is awesome. Like, I hope, I'm sure we'll connect again, and I'll DM you a few interesting things.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Okay. I'll give you some good sauce on the back end.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, bro. Take it easy, man.
I will see you around.
All right, later, boss.